Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Cop Update. I am Gav. This is the LFC Daytrippers, and you're all very, very welcome to the first Cop Update of the week. I have started this show 5 minutes late. I just lost all track of time, to be perfectly honest with you, and I just get lashed out of it. Gav's putting cans in the freezer, Gav's picking out his fleece. Jesus, you're absolute sticklers for time. Daniel Dawson says, "Wakey, wakey, Gav, the Venga bus is coming." Sorry for being late. I just lost all track of time doing something else. We're going to talk more about the Carabao Cup and more reaction on that, and we're also going to talk about the chances Liverpool have of completing a quadruple. It may. Red Steve says he's gone with the beard extension one, i.e. the fleece. Yeah, listen, I just put this on to upset you. You know this. 5 minutes late means 5 dislikes. Yeah, probably will happen. But look, we're definitely going to chat around the Carabao Cup because we done a brilliant show on it last night on the Fatback 4. We did have an hour or two to digest it before we done that show, and we've had a further whatever amount of hours to have another look at it last night, because I went back and watched the whole thing again last night. Want to have your thoughts on it, your reactions. We didn't get to read out as many comments as we liked last night because it was just crazy. And the chances of a quadruple, you know, I keep saying about it. Liverpool are in for all four. I believe we can do it, and until we can't, why not believe? But I want to know your thoughts, honest thoughts, on the chances of doing this. I seen the Champions Wall this morning, and that's been upgraded, but it looks very updated. Or when I picked the picture I seen had it updated. Liverpool are one trophy away from 50 major trophies, which was nice to see. 9th League Cup yesterday, which gets our record back. I only realised because City had gone level on 8, hadn't they? Because they'd won it for the last 8 years. But that, you know, that gets us back on top of City with regards to League Cup. And it was just a great day yesterday. It was a great night last night. It was a great show we done. We had a great time talking about it. And you know what? This is the days you're in it for. I'm still absolutely buzzing after yesterday. Just the way it happened. The balls Liverpool showed, to be honest. The balls they showed, you know, was unbelievable. And Chelsea, in fairness, showed a lot of strength on what they were doing as well. You know, you have to hand them. Two teams were involved in what I believe is probably the best 0-0 you will ever see. It was just outrageous. Hi Gav, says Johnny, great to see the show live for a change with coffee and cake. I'm not a coffee drinker, but cake, let me know what the cake is. I'll be absolutely into it. Ibuprofen is a great thing, says Red Steve. Oh, he was feeling it this morning. Is Kepa Subs the worst in history? He came over 2 minutes, conceded 11 goals and misses a crucial penalty. I think it's a weird one. I think they overthink it. I genuinely do. Why? Tuchel comes out afterwards and says, "Oh well, you know, Kepa is slightly better in penalty situations than Mendy." And I'm kind of saying to myself, yeah, but Mendy's been in the game, played really fucking well, makes a brilliant save from Mane, like a brilliant save, you know, and you're bringing a fella in cold, and then you're seeing the actions of Kepa, which was, like, I've seen them back now, like, especially when we're waiting for penalties and stuff like that. You see the actions of him on the line. He's like something you'd see at a Christmas fucking play for kids, you know, jumping around, hiding and shit like that. And instead of just concentrating on being a goalkeeper, he was doing more moving around and actually attempts to save the ball. Whereas you look at Caoimhín Kelleher goes in, focused, knows what he's in, and he's in the game. He's in the game. It's not adrenaline absolutely pushing him where it would be for Kepa. He's in the game. He knows the situation. He's been used to it for, 2 hours of football. It's just a bit mad what he done there. And I did see comments at the time, and you can hear, is this a psychological masterstroke and stuff like that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure, because when you actually look at him, bar Canates, I don't think he gets close to many of them. He goes the right way for Trent, but it's past him. He actually stands on the post for Virgil van Dijk, and Virgil van Dijk still fucking scores. It's a bit mad. So, look, on Kepa, it didn't work. I'm hoping it was Tommy Tuchel trying to be too clever. I really am. But me head tells me that was pre-planned. And it wasn't trying to be too clever, it was just pre-planned. But the game that Mendy was having, I just couldn't see. I just couldn't see what he was doing. I really couldn't. Let me read out some stuff. Gav, the players want a quadruple. Have you seen Trent and Salah post about it? Says Ali. I haven't. Kieran B says Kepa ballooned it. He absolutely did. Let me see. Mendy would have saved one at least as Kevin Ball. I just think when you have a goalkeeper that's in the moment, in the game, 120 minutes of it, feeling good, hasn't conceded yet, why do you take him off? To bring a guy in that's bouncing about and, I just don't see it. So maybe they went on data and stuff like that. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see if anything else comes out about it. The only thing I've seen is Tuchel say that he felt that Kepa was slightly better than Mendy in penalty situations. But you have to read the situation you're in, the live situation you're in, and I think Mendy would have done okay, and it's proven by what Kepa does in the penalty shooter, which is fuck all, bar lose the FA of football. Just coffee and toast for me, says Red Steve. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe. Yeah, fair enough. Again, not a coffee drinker, so lost on me. Toast, I'm all over. Like a bit of toast. I'd have feared from Mendy more on the shooter. Mendy was excellent yesterday, Chris Brack. Yeah, it's all just a guessing game. That's all it is. And, you can't tell me that Kepa is up there and he's reading the minds of these players and stuff like that. They have all the data as well on where players go, where they may go. Now, we may not know much on, say, a Trent penalty or a Van Dijk penalty or indeed, Kanate, blah, 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 as it goes, but they're given all the data in the world, and so are Queevy and Kelleher. So when it comes to, he's a brilliant penalty stopper, you're kind of going, he's given a load of data and he probably goes the way that they've discussed before, and if he gets there, he gets there. The player bluffs him, grant, But I don't see the big thing in that move. But we move on for it. It's a pecan slice thing, says Johnny. Oh, that's what he's having cake with. Oh no thanks, not a pecan slice. 4 for $3.50 in Duns. Yeah, that's worrying. That price is worrying as well. I just thought yesterday's show we need to improve our midfield, says Mark Kavanagh. I thought our midfield, apart from Fabinho, were outplayed yesterday. I thought from 15 to 40 our midfield was really good. And then Chelsea got a bit of a move on it. And then second half, Chelsea started really well, but I thought Liverpool come back into it again. I just thought it was very hard to assess yesterday because it was a real case of you have a go at what we're doing, or we'll have a go at what we're doing, i.e. Liverpool controlling it and looking to probe, and then Chelsea will have a go at what they do and just break. And they cut out the midfield an awful lot of the time. They hit a front man, they get runners off them, and then they go from there. So I think I'm not saying the midfield doesn't need strengthening, but I think it's a very hard one to assess yesterday. Afternoon all, still buzzing from yesterday. The 4 is still on. Kepa thought he was playing GAA when he hit it over the bar, so Scott's mates. Yeah. Let me see. The Virgil van Dijk one was mad. And Chris Brack says, after watching it back, I love the VVD pen. Kepa stands over to one side and VVD just looks at him and smashes it past him anyway. It was mad. But you see, that's the thing. If you're going to stand over there, you better save it if it comes that way. But this is what I'm talking about. This isn't a fella that's reading people's minds or out-psyching people or doing anything of the sort. He's literally standing over there and Van Dijk still scores. I'd have saved that. If he was actually watching what was going on, he would have saved it. But he was too busy bouncing around and moving around and like the fucking court jester. So there you go. On another day, Kelleher gets the 3 of those pens. Yeah, but maybe. But I think Kelleher is using information he's being given, and between him and probably the goalkeeping coach or some member of staff. They're making a decision. You're going that way for him. You're going that way for him. Unless something radically changes where he sees something different, and he does that, and he gets close to some of them, and eventually doesn't have to save them because one goes over the bar, and one goes over the bar as good as a save because it doesn't go in the goal. So there you go. Quadruple, Gav says Thor, yes, 100%, and do everything in the derby to plunge into the abyss. Thing is, we probably have stopped after that because it wouldn't get any better. Yeah, I did say to cancel football, Liverpool win the quadruple. I absolutely think they would. It would have been funny if Kepa conceded in the 120th minute, dropping the ball in only after being on for a minute. Well, it would have done everything for their nerves, so we didn't have to look at 22 penalties. But I don't know. Sometimes I think this bringing a goalkeeper on for this is a nonsense, to be honest with you. Fabinho's was Kieran's fave. Yeah, a great penalty. There was so many good ones. Like, we tried to go through them last night, but Milner's is a good one. Fabinho's is brilliant. Origi's is really good. Trent's is good. Van Dijk's is good. Elliott's is brilliant. Konate's is a bit lucky. Queeveen Kelleher's is really good. Andy Robertson hits a good penalty. You know, when you go through it all, like, there's some really, really good penalties there. And from the Chelsea side as well, they were really, really good. Let's be honest about it. To take Mendy off for that game is a terrible decision from your friend. Have you got what he deserved? I think it's a pre-planting. But look, let's get off Mendy and Kepa. Forget it. They're not any of our business anymore. Unless we get them in the Champions League. But what are our chances of this quadruple? I want to know what you think, because I think we still have a great, great chance. And I wouldn't be discussing it if I didn't. I'm not doing it just to fucking wind people up. I hope someone watches that thinks we can't and they all get upset. I genuinely think we've a really, really good chance. I did read something about Harvey Elliott though, and it came up on my phone there. I don't know what. I'll have to go and find it. But basically, Harvey Elliott, has someone written to Harvey Elliott to have a go at him about holding a flare or something along them lines? I think I've seen something like that. But I don't know. It's a bit bleeding mad. Let me see. There's loads of comments there. I'll try to get through a few of these in a minute. But what do you think our chances are? Ali, Doomsday says 10%. Okay, 10% chance. No worries. 29 likes for 100. Give Tokes his 100. Yeah, we're on 72. There's 140 people watching. If you could, that would be great. What is Elliott's best position? I always thought he would play across the front three. I have my concerns about midfield. Yeah, I know he has time. He's only 18. Mark says midfielder. He's definitely a midfielder. Everything about him tells me he's a midfielder. Technically, I don't know what the worry is in midfield, Mark, because he's not the biggest fella in the world, but there's so many players that play midfield aren't the biggest player in the world, so there's no issue there. He holds the ball well, he carries the ball well, he sees a pass, he walks, he gets his foot in. All he has to do is keep playing, keep trying, keep improving. And, you know, we're still looking at a very small sample size with regards to Harvey Elliott, you know, which is more or less the start of this season, up until he gets injured against Leeds. And for that little portion of the season, we've seen what he can do in midfield. Never had a concern about him playing. Never had a concern about midfield. And I think he'll grow into it. The only thing he needs to grow into midfield for me is goals and assists. Because the position he's playing in, I believe, is the most forward-thinking position in Liverpool's midfield, which is the right-hand side of that midfield tree. So Harvey Elliott doesn't concern me in any way playing for Liverpool in midfield. Whether you start him, bring him on as a sub, whatever you want, and regardless of what game it is. But I would say that he will need to improve his goals and assists. But it's still his fourth season as an 18-year-old coming into Liverpool's fourth team squad. So you have to give him plenty of time. I wouldn't play him across the front three. You'd only look for defenders to be all over him and try and mark him out of a game. I think he gets a bit more freedom in midfield to find space and do things. And overall, he's been absolutely fine. Not a bother. Elliott will be a midfielder. The concern yesterday with Elliott was his off-the-ball work wasn't helping Trent out enough. but very exciting player to have in our squad. Yeah, that's basically it. Let me see. I did see something about the flare. I think it might have been Chris that said it. The FA have written to him with concerns about him running on with a smoke bomb or flare. Fuck off, you know. Jesus Christ. Could he write to other people about different things that he do instead of Harvey Elliott? Jesus Christ, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is what you're up against. Let me see. Damien says, for all the positivity, can you spend a minute considering if Klopp has become more conservative versus City and Chelsea in the last few seasons? Remember when we would go at them? Yeah, I do remember when we would go at them. But I think we went at Chelsea quite a bit yesterday. A lot of Chelsea stuff yesterday comes from the fact that they're playing on the break, which means Liverpool are going at you. You know, when you look at the stats from yesterday, like Chelsea are coming across here as hard done by. Liverpool had 20 shots to 11. They had 55% of possession. They had 505 passes to Chelsea's 414. They had 6 shots on targets to Chelsea's 4. You know, they had 256 passes in Chelsea's half. Over half the passes in Chelsea's half across 120 minutes. Sometimes, you can find Liverpool to be conservative, but you have to remember, like, Liverpool are a brilliant football team, but so are Chelsea at times, and so are City most of the time. So you have to balance it out at times. You know, if we went out there yesterday and absolutely went for Chelsea, all gung ho, Chelsea would have loved it because they want you to go all gung ho. They want you to leave as many gaps as possible, and they do us on the break, particularly us. I think they see that's their best chance. So I think like I just look at it and he gets the results. You know, that sort of way. He gets the results. But I know what you're saying. There is a bit more conservatism there, but I think at times it's needed where you do look to control a bit with Chelsea, but you have to hold a little bit back. Simply because that's the way they want to play. You know, if a team aren't getting out, you can absolutely have a go at them. But Chelsea like this. This is the way they get out. This is the way they like to get out. Let me see. Alisson in training is like Keith in the Brentford game. Alisson to Kelleher. Did I tell you the time I scored a last minute winner? Kelleher, was it a pen? Oh, okay, yeah, Keith and Brentford is still going. Let me see. Salah has changed his run-ups to pens and I love it. Yeah, looks like he's shortened them a little bit and they aren't as bendy. He's just more or less 3-4 steps and bang, he's hitting it. Zachary says the Diaz compilation from yesterday made 15 no-look passes, absolute flair player. I thought he was great. I thought he worked really hard as well. We waxed lyrical about him last night, and rightly so. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Match says the midfield was loose yesterday, didn't really work like how it should. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think Thiago was a big loss to it, because of the way we were going to look to play. But Keita come in, I thought Keita done alright. You know, I wouldn't be going, oh, Keita was absolutely shite. I don't think he was. I think he was okay. But Chelsea like to get at you when you're in midfield. They like to sit and let you get so far and then try to hit you and turn over and get beyond that midfield very quickly. But the midfield, yeah, I think it's very hard to assess. I think it was a mad game. I really do. I think it was a boring 0-0 where there wasn't much chances and they didn't do much and we didn't do much. You could assess it a lot easier and go, look, that midfield didn't get control of it and we were under the cosh a little bit. And then when we got it, we didn't use it and we didn't. But that's not true. They got chances, we got chances. It was very, very fast paced. And it's probably one of the harder ones I found in a long while to assess. Maybe because it was a final and maybe because, you know, you're caught up in all the emotion of it. Even watching it back last night, I just thought it was a mad game. I genuinely did. And Kovacic has a really good game for Chelsea, but then at the same time you look and Liverpool get beyond him quite a few times. You know, the sort of way. I didn't think Kante was great for them, but he still sticks in there. You know, the sort of way. It was just a mad game. Gav, have you seen the uproar because we built the anthem? Says Antico. Yeah. What did he want? It's not like this is a new thing, you know. And Liverpool singing "Never Walk Alone." most of the time through it, don't they? So, but look, don't be minding them all. They all just fucking want something to moan about. You know, it's just one of those things. Just leave them to it. There's no fucking point in engaging this sort of shit. Let me see. After the first 15 minutes, we battered Chelsea for the remainder of the half. Except they broke on us just before half time. Yeah. And then it kind of went second half where Chelsea came out of the blocks again quick, and then we kind of got it back, and then they got it back, and then extra time can go either way. You know, the sort of way. Loved Klopp's comments when asked about Kelleher starting. He said he was a coach and more importantly a human being. He was definitely starting. Yeah, I read that out on the show last night. That was a lovely touch. 9 likes till you hit a 100. That's the update for the Reclaimer. So if you're in here and you're watching and you're liking it, hit the like button, and Reclaimer will stop moaning when it gets to 100. Let me see. We used to have Klein, Skertel, Sacco, Moreno at the back. We had no choice but to go for it because we weren't keeping it clean. Says Red. Steve, I think losing Thiago had a massive impact on the boys for the first 20 minutes, says Reclaimer. Yeah, I agree. I think it took us time to settle. And I think Chelsea seen it as a real lift and said, here, why not? Let's have a go at this early doors and just see what they're made of. Because we'd have done the same. You know, if they had lost to Conte early or before the game, or Thiago Silva, or, you know, one of the centre-backs, any of the centre-backs, you go, let's have a real go at this for the first 15 and see what's going on. And Chelsea done what you'd expect them to do. But we looked after it. We looked after it as the game went on. Mendy save and Mane was superb. I thought it was a brilliant save. I don't know how much more Mane can do other than lift it a little bit higher. But it happens fairly quick. And you know what? It's a really good save. You just have to credit him. If that's the other way around, we're telling you that Kelleher's made an absolute worldie. And I think it's fair to say Mendy did there, because he actually doesn't do great with the Keita shot where he pushed it to. It comes out to Mane. Mane is in the right space. He hits it well. Could he go across him? I think the fact that the defender, I think he knows the defender's there and probably going to slide. Could he have blocked it? So he goes for that side of the goal, hoping maybe that Mendy would take a risk and jump across the goal, think he'd go across him, but he ends up getting his hand to it. It's a brilliant fucking save. Let me see. Hi all, what a fantastic game yesterday. Said you'll never walk alone, 97. That VVD pen against Kepa was man v boy. Marshall says, big up LFC Daytrippers. Definitely one of the most slept on YouTube channels. Nothing but great content. We go for the quadruple. Love from New York, Harlem. Deadly. Love it. Harlem. There you go. We're in the houses of Harlem today. Sam Westwood said, Gav, watch out, that pen was going to hit you. It's still flying. Chelsea are like our Atletico light under Tuchel. The good thing is playing against them, we pick up data. Our analysts should be all over that. Yeah, look, I think they sit back. Kieran B says Diaz was fantastic. So let's have a quick look at the quadruple opportunity. So the FA Cup, we have Norwich on Wednesday night in the 5th round, which was get us into a quarter final. There's some really good teams left in the FA Cup, as we know. Okay, but the same with the League Cup. You know, once you're in there and you're in the business end of it, you go for it. And it's getting to the stage now where FA Cup games, I think, will be dedicated weekends, quarter final weekends, semi-final weekends. So they won't be kind of wedged in on a Wednesday night, I don't think. So that's a good thing. We may have to move the old league game, I think, but we have dedicated weekends to the FA Cup, which is good. We're not going to get it flung in. Oh, by the way, you're playing this Wednesday, this Saturday, and you're back on Tuesday for an FA Cup game. I don't think that's going to how it works. So the FA Cup is a really good chance. Champions League, Inter Milan 2-0 up, playing them next midweek. Yeah, we've Norwich on Wednesday, we've West Ham at the weekend, and we've Inter next week. 2-0 from the first leg, fairly commanding. I didn't see much in Inter that would worry me. They're a good side, but I don't see much that will worry me where I'd say, you know, we won't get through that. So it looks like we're in the quarter final of that. So that's 2 cup competitions where we're in the quarter finals. And like I said, there's still some great sides left in that, but no one wants us. They just don't. Trust me. Not when it comes around to that quarter final draw, and just all the people are in this wherever they're doing it, right? And they go to news channels, and it's like, Team A don't want Liverpool. They openly come out and say, that they don't want it. Garrett Lawson is still dying. Well, that's what he gets for going out with all the other Lawsons, including Shawnee and Paddy, whose birthday was yesterday, Paddy, so happy birthday to Paddy. But best of luck in your recovery, Garrett Lawson. So that's 2 quarterfinals, right? So let's park. All you can say is see who you can draw, and we don't fear anyone. The league is the big one. The league is the big one where City get a result against Everton at the weekend, and you know it's a bit contentious. Not the goal. You get a good goal. Perfectly good goal. What Michael Keane is doing, I wouldn't say he's any good at dancing. I'll put it that way. But then they get that decision with Rodri, where it's a definite penalty, and they get away with it for some reason. They are 6 points clear of us. We have got a game in hand. We need to win that game in hand, which is actually Arsenal on the 16th of March, and we need to go and beat them at the Etihad. All right, and then we have to match them from there on in. Are Liverpool capable of winning at the Emirates to get it to 3 points? Yes. Are they capable of winning at the Etihad? Yes. Are they capable of matching Man City result for result for the last 6 games of the season? Because that's all that'll be left. Yes, is the answer. I think it's a huge chance to win the quadruple. I'm not saying we will win it. I'm not saying, yeah, we're definitely winning the quadruple. But I think it's a huge, huge, huge chance to win the quadruple. Because I think this team, I think Shawnee said it last night, this team could win every game. No problem. He thinks they could win every game. They have it in them. And I think yesterday is just a little push where you go, that's one. And then when you look at it, quarterfinal, you could be in a quarterfinal of an FA Cup, you could be in a quarterfinal of a Champions League, and like this time next week, in 9 days' time, we could be quarterfinal of the Champions League, quarterfinal of the FA Cup, and 3 points behind Man City. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a huge, huge, huge chance of it happening. And as I said, no one will tell me we can't do it until we can't do it. You know, I won't listen to people going, you won't do that, and no, you won't do that. Well, why? You'll only be right if we do get knocked out of one of the competitions, but we haven't yet. So I'm absolutely 100% on. I'm 100% behind the chances of this happening. Match says if it's going to be a tough one, but if any team can, it's Liverpool. Kieran says it's a big week. It is a big week. It is a big week. But that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Huge chance we get a nice quarterfinal draw in the FA Cup, says Dragon Balls. Yeah, we keep that momentum going. I'll be confident, says Teo. 4 games into his career with Liverpool, Diaz has a medal, says the Reclaimer. Yeah, that's true, and he's played in 4 different competitions in his first 4 games, hasn't he? Man City have a few hard games to come. Yes, they do, and so do we. So you know, it's very, very even at the top of the table, but it is on us to beat them at the Etihad if they don't drop any more points. 10 wins on the bounce now, says Kevin Ball. He thinks, yeah, I think it is as well. Imagine Stevie does us a favour last day and he runs around celebrating, says Antico. Yeah, I think we might need something before the last day. We can't be going into the last day behind them, because record shows that they don't kind of falter City when it comes to that. That was a handball from Rodri at Goodison. How in the name of Bonaparte's balls did the VAR official not tell the ref to go to the monitor? Well, he shouldn't have. He should have said it's a penalty, ref. End of story. Or, by your thinking, I think it's a penalty. He moves his hand away from his body to control a football that clearly hits him on the arm. Forget the sleeve and bullshit. It's hit him. If you want to go to the monitor just to confirm it, go ahead, but it's a penalty. And they don't. And they don't give the offside. They resume the game where the VAR check was from, which was Rodri in possession of the ball when he handled it. So there you go. Let me see. Our offside trap will perfectly yesterday, but I was certainly worried a few times, especially the Lukaku one, says Suckbeer Secon. Yeah, that's what they're there for. And they'll stick to their principles. And the Lukaku one is offside. It's not hard. He's offside. So there you go. United will beat City this weekend, Gav, says Ali. I won't hold me breath, Ali, because United are appalling. I understand that Man City have a better running than we do. Is that true, says Paul Smith? No, I don't go for this. There's so many teams that have stuff to play for against us and City as the season comes towards the end of it. I think it's basically a case of Liverpool have to win Liverpool have to win at the Etihad, which will put them level with Man City. You basically have to presume that both teams are going to win all their games, but it comes down to if Liverpool win at the Etihad and continue to win, they'll win on goal difference. If City win at the Etihad, it's over. That's the way you have to look at it. But Liverpool are right in a chance, and City went great at the weekend, I have to say. Everton played really well and stuck to a system really well, but City didn't look themselves. But you never know. They could click back into gear now with that, and that gives them a big push. But you could see the relief on them afterwards. They knew what should have been a game where they won and won handy. It didn't happen, and they were very, very relieved. Who would you like in the quarter final of the Champions League? Says Dragon Balls. Anybody. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me who we get in Champions League, FA Cup. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to play some deadly teams to win it. It's not like, you're going to just get through, and you just take what you're given, and you go from there. Antico says, genuinely, if we win the quad, no shows for a year as we celebrating. There won't be a show for a couple of days, I can tell you that for nothing. But we will try to get back as soon as possible. That has been your Cup update for today. And when I say update, we're just talking about Kepa not being great and us having a go at the quadruple. But listen, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Coming on at lunchtime and just chatting around what's going on at Liverpool. Go and enjoy all the content you can find with regards to Liverpool winning that cup yesterday. We will be back later on tonight with our winners and losers show. Don't forget our charity Féileacáin, all info in the description, and if you can donate, please do. The donations have slowed up quite a bit, but if you can donate, absolutely do so, and if not, share it across all your social media and amongst friends and try to get people to help us out there. It's been a pleasure. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.